It's here. After over half a decade, we finally got a small glimpse at the future of Halo. 343 has rolled out the Halo Infinite tech preview, and we've spent hours diving headfirst into the action, and found some things that may have flown under the radar for most players until this point. My name is War, and this is 10 things you may have missed in the Halo Infinite tech preview so far. Number 1. Campaign spoilers. Just a quick one to start the list, there are campaign spoilers being data mined and popping up all over the internet. Though Microsoft and 343 will be striking down many of these videos and articles, it will be hard to get rid of them all before things get spoiled for some fans. So just a quick warning to be sure to be careful what videos you click on if you prefer not to have anything spoiled before release. Obviously, with this being our number 1 point on the list, there will be no spoilers in this video, so there's nothing to worry about. Number 2. Updated motion tracker. Now we get into the real portion of our list. The motion tracker is back and seemingly undergone some pretty big changes. While some things are minor, such as it no longer showing the enemy height on the map, as it has in past iterations, others are more drastic, such as it will no longer show enemies that are moving around the map at a normal pace. No longer do players need to crouch to remain hidden from the tracker. Just walking around at a normal pace will not alert enemies that you're close by. With this updated tracker, only actions such as sprinting or shooting will cause you to appear on the enemy's motion tracker. It's a shocking change to get used to, and makes the tracker far less reliable for those who depend on the blips to track their enemies. You'll have to rely on team communication and callouts from your team to track your enemies this time around. And this takes us into our 3rd point on the list. Number 3. Radar callouts. Continuing the radar trend, another quick fact is callouts are back. First debuting in Halo Reach, radar callouts allow teams to call out locations to their teams with ease. No longer do teams need to make up their own markers and callouts for what map they're playing. It's now all laid out for you right on the motion tracker, so that even when you're playing with randoms, you'll be able to accurately explain where the enemies are or where they're likely going to spawn next. Number 4. The pinging system. Another huge help with team communication is the new pinging system. While pinging is a standard feature in shooters at this point, Infinite handles things a little bit differently. Pinging in Halo has multiple functions. If you simply ping a spot on the map, it will note it for your team and show the name location callout for your team members. Pinging an enemy directly will do the same, but let your team know that there's an enemy there by displaying the enemy team's color. And if there are multiple enemies in that location, it will communicate this by displaying a number 2, letting your team know that there's more than one enemy on that location. Number 5. The new coloring system. The new coloring system takes some getting used to. Gone are the days of red versus blue. In fact, all Spartans entering combat keep their chosen custom armor color. This is actually quite jarring at first, but the way you will now decipher friend from foe is a faint colored outline in their shield color while they're taking hits. If you're having trouble adjusting, you can always go into the UI and change the enemy team's color to something lighter, like bright yellow, which can really help the enemy team stand out in a dark space. Number 6. The shield hit detection system. Expanding upon our number 5 point, and another aspect seemingly ripped directly from Reach is the shield system. Once again, Spartan shields will be popped, which will then make them susceptible to the headshot damage. Even better, with the new shielding system you can more accurately see where your shots are landing. No longer will shields flash all over when the enemy is being hit. The armor now more accurately shows exactly where your bullets are landing. This way, you can line up your shots so you know that once that shield pops, your enemy's dead with the next bullet. Number 7. Descoping. Perhaps one of the more interesting changes is that weapon descoping is back, and it seems to be completely dependent on the weapon class you're using at the time. Scoping in with something like the BR or sniper rifle while taking hits will always cause you to pop out of zoom and need to relocate your target. However, with the AR, Magnum, and even weapons like the Needler will allow you to take hits and stay in zoom regardless of the amount of incoming fire you're taking. Number 8. New, changed medals. Obviously, a new Halo game means new medals. However, some of the classics seem to also have been renamed this time around. Here's a quick list of the ones we've found so far. The new medals are Spotter, Quick Draw, Shot Caller, Off the Rack, Remote Detonation, Rifleman, Marksman, and Harpoon. And the renamed medals we found were Backsmack, which now replaces the Assassination medal, and No Scope, which now replaces the Snapshot medal. Number 9. Sprinting and Shield Cooldown. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Sprinting is unlimited, and no longer are your shields tied to it this time around. This means if you start taking fire before you're ready, you can sprint to safety with no penalty whatsoever. Due to the way the game itself is tuned, however, it doesn't seem to break the game in the same way that it did in Halo 4. But obviously, only time will tell how this updated system will work. And finally, number 10, Reticle Lock. As I'm sure you've been able to tell, the further we go down the list, the more nitpicky things become. Ever since Halo 2, the reticle has been slightly off-center and lowered for Halo games. This changed in Halo 5 when the reticle was brought back to the center of the screen in the same way that it was in Halo Combat Evolved. Obviously, some players are used to the reticle being lower and prefer it that way. This was even addressed in MCC through updates, which allowed the reticle to be moved to the player's personal preference. However, after digging through menus repeatedly looking for the option, it appears there's just no way to lower the reticle this time around. With the staggering amount of customization options offered for this game, it's shocking that this wasn't considered this time around, and it's something we hope makes a return for the full retail release. And that's our list. With that, we'll be jumping right back into the action to see if there's anything else we might have missed. If you know anything that we forgot, be sure to let us know in the comments below. If there was anything you learned from this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you disliked it, give it a thumbs down. We go live on Twitch and right here on YouTube every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So be sure to drop in and let us know your experiences with the Halo Infinite tech demo. And be sure to subscribe for a variety of videos, including a ton of Halo content dropping in the future. And, as always, thanks for watching.